Hi everyone! Happy New Year! I am filming this on January 1st. You're seeing it on the 2nd, so happy 2018. I'll be enjoying this glass of, it's not champagne, let's be honest here, it's Prosecco, while I film my December favorites video. We're gonna kick this off with some skincare because Toronto hit a really rough patch of cold weather all of a sudden at the beginning of December. It was like fine, it was autumn, and then all of a sudden it was winter. Like winter just hit really fast. And I really like the cold weather, which is pretty unusual for somebody who lives in Toronto. But my skin can't handle such sudden changes in temperature. It's like we went from like plus 10 degrees down to like minus 15 in the span of like nothing. So my face just dried out so badly. I had pieces of skin flaking off of my face at work, like around my nose, all along my chin. I was like picking little flakes of my face off. So I stopped wearing foundation for 2 weeks because I was like, there's no way, I can't put anything on my face without it looking terrible. And I knew that I had to go back to my tried and true Sephora collection sleeping masks. Now I have talked about these in the past and how good they are at just reviving my skin after they are totally dried out. So I finished up one of these. It's the same one as this. It's the pink one, which is the moisturizing and soothing one. They call them a sleeping mask, which made me a little bit nervous the first time I used it. I didn't want to go to sleep with something goopy all over my face, but it doesn't really behave like that. This does sink into your face as if it were a moisturizer. So I would just put this on my face at night. You can get, I swear, almost, if not a little bit longer than a week's worth out of one of these little pods. I think they're $5 at Sephora. Not positive on that. I tend to buy them during the VIP sale, so it makes them even cheaper. But you can get a lot of use out of one of these and they bring so much life back to my skin. I haven't had to use them in the winter so much. I've just more brought them along when I've been traveling somewhere. My face has dried out from like airplane temperatures and stuff like that. But this worked wonders to bring my skin back so that it wasn't peeling everywhere. So I know I've talked about these before, but I honestly believe that this is one of the only moisturizing face masks that you actually notice the difference the very next day. So I cannot recommend these enough. You may have seen my red makeup basket where I pulled out all of my makeup that was red toned or kind of rusty and warm, and I put them in a basket and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be using this stuff over the next few months just because I want to get a lot of use out of it. It's a Christmas season, everyone's wearing a lot of red, and I just wanted to get good use out of those products. So of course, I rediscovered a few loves. The first one is sadly no longer available, but it is the NARS Sarah Moon nail polish from last year's holiday collection. It's the shade Never Tamed, and I think that this is my perfect red nail polish. I actually wore this the entire month of December, and of course today I've changed up my nail polish and I'm not actually wearing this, but every time I took this off, I put it right back on my nails. So for about 4 weeks straight, this was the only polish I was wearing, and it's perfect. I think NARS makes incredible nail polish. It's creamy, it's smooth, it glides on the nail so nicely, and the brush is really wide too, which is something I really like. It's actually so wide that it will coat my entire pinky in one swipe, which is fantastic. And it's a little bit funny to me because I've used this nail polish so consistently that I thought I was gonna be mostly done with it by now, but I swear to you, I've only used about 30% of the bottle up so far. So I'm gonna be having this for a good long while. The only sad thing is that when I run out of this, I am going to be very upset. I don't have a dupe for this in my collection. Not that my nail polish collection is that big, but it's so perfect that I don't wanna be without it. And because it was limited edition, like I'm screwed. I can't get this again. So if anybody knows of a dupe for this one, let me know because I'm gonna need it at some point. The next red item is a liquid lipstick, and this is by Kat Von D. This is the shade Santa Sangre, and it's a beautiful red. It's just really vibrant. It's brighter than what I have on my lips today. It's almost like a neon red, but without being kind of like that 90s vibe to it. And I do have to point out that I think that Kat Von D makes my favorite formula of liquid lipsticks. It's one of those ones where I can put it on my lips and I'm not feeling like everything is totally dried out. I can move my lips around. I don't have to be worried about cracking, and it doesn't feel uncomfortably dry, which is something I really struggle with liquid lipsticks in regards to because I hate dryness. I hate when it cracks a little bit, This doesn't do that to me, and it also doesn't bleed out anywhere, so I feel really safe wearing a liquid lipstick by Kat Von D. And feeling safe when wearing a liquid lipstick that is bright red is a very, very rare occurrence, but with this shade, I do feel safe wearing it. So yeah, huge winner in, well, I mean, her liquid lipsticks in general are fantastic, but this was just the shade that I was really enjoying throughout December. So I really struggle with lipsticks bleeding out on me. And what I mean by that, because I don't think everybody's aware of the term, you know when you apply your lipstick and then you get like lines that kind of look like veins that seep away from your lips? I get that a lot if I don't use a lip primer. And I've used quite a few lip primers at this point, and I've got a lot in my stash that I'm trying to finish that sort of work, but they're not the perfect one. Well, I finished up enough of the okay ones, and I finally gone back to my absolute favorite, and I'm like, why do I even bother trying the other ones? The MAC Prep and Prime for lips is the best lip primer that you can get on the market, I feel, or at least out of all the ones that I've tried. This one smells like their lipstick formula, and it kind of feels like it when you put it on, but you have to wait for it to go tacky. So what I do when I apply this to my lips before I put lipstick on is I apply it to my entire lips, but a little bit outside of my lip line as well to kind of act like a barrier. It looks clear, maybe a little bit white creamy, but nothing you're ever gonna notice as soon as you put lipstick on. What you have to do is wait for the product to go tacky, and it usually takes about a minute or two. And once you feel that your lips kind of stick together a little bit when you press them together, that's when you can apply your lipstick, and it stays for so long and you get absolutely no bleed out. I've tried lip pencils, I've tried other lip primers, I've tried powdering, I've tried concealer. None of that stops bleed out as much as MAC's Prep and Prime for lips does. This is the best, and I just need to stop trying everything else and only buy this one because it's fantastic. The next item I'm going to talk about is probably not going to come as a surprise to very many people because we all know I'm obsessed with the brand, but Too Faced Chocolate Gold Palette. When I first saw this, I thought the colors were really pretty. I thought they were different for a chocolate bar palette because they had a little bit more pizzazz to them, and that intrigued me. But then as I saw more swatches, more makeup tutorials, more looks being done with this, I started to fall heavily in love with it. So when I received this from PR, I dove into it. I was so entranced by the colors, and I will link to the try-on video that I filmed, must have been a few weeks ago now, using this palette and a bunch of the other collection. I was so impressed. So impressed that I took it on vacation with me to Wisconsin over the holidays, and I also brought my Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I never used my Modern Renaissance palette, which is shocking to me. I use that palette all the time, and it is very Christmas appropriate, but no, I used this palette for a week straight, and I was not sick of it. I was so excited to use this all the time. And initially when I first looked at it, I thought that there was gonna be too many lid shades because so many of these are very bright metallic colors, and I really didn't think there was gonna be enough to put on the outer corner. Now, if you can get over the fact that for so many years we've been told not to put shimmery colors in our crease, I think you'll find that this is a very versatile palette. I ended up putting this purple color in my crease. I put Holla for $1 out there too. I did Love and Cocoa out there. And while this palette is predominantly shimmery shades, I have to say that the selection of mattes in here is absolutely perfect for this palette. You've got a darker medium brown, you've got a black, which is excellent, by the way. That black, it deepens up all of these shades very, very well. You've got So Bougie, which is that medium kind of transition shade, and then you've got the brow bone highlight that you obviously need in a palette. This palette's a little bit hard to hold because it's shimmery everywhere and the mirror is enormous. Oh, that's another thing I need to mention. This mirror is actually full size. They've gotten rid of that cardboard sort of rim that they would put around their chocolate bar palettes that kind of obscured half the mirror. It's gone now. So this thing is full size, and it's great for propping up and using. It's amazing. With all the other chocolate bar palettes, I felt like you could never really prop them up and get a big enough mirror. They fixed that problem with this one, and it is fantastic. So I keep gushing about this palette, but it's because I used it so much and I never got bored and I was never disappointed. I put together so many looks with this palette and still I wanted more. So this palette is a total winner for December. I can't wait to use it even more. It hasn't bored me. I haven't put this back on my shelf, you know, where sometimes palettes go and they sit there and they kind of collect dust. This has been sitting on my vanity ready to use since I tried it out. So I am so happy with the chocolate gold palette, and I think it is a wonderful release for the brand. So that's gonna be it for my favorite products for December. I really like these products. I feel like they were a really good crop of products, so to speak. So here's to you, here's to 2018. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.